All right, time for an unboxing. This just came in today. I think it was expected to come in maybe in another month or so, maybe in August at least. Right now it's due mid-July. What is today? The 17th, I think. Yeah, it should be. Or maybe it's the 15th. Yeah, today's actually the 15th. Let me check. I have a dateless watch. Anyways, whatever it is, it's about mid-July. And this is the Jazwares Micro Galaxy Squadron, Star Wars, of course. The Imperial Patrol Gunship. And this is the standard version. And it's from Ahsoka. And I believe this was actually, well, this version is from Ahsoka, sort of. There is another version that's also from Ahsoka, which is the Jazwares Vault version, which I had originally placed on order, and that came out first. But you know, those are really like has the extra like premium decoration and stuff, and it's supposed to be made nicer, and it's got like the nicer packaging. Upon packaging, I think there's like basically something like 3 layers of like really nice Jazwares packaging when it ships to you. Unlike this came from Amazon, and they put this just in a plastic bag, and so this got dinged on the way here. Luckily, hopefully nothing is missing that flew out. I don't check the bag, but it shouldn't have. I don't think it has any loose parts, but luckily I don't care about the condition of the box because this is just going to be unboxed and open anyways. But yeah, so that one was like $60 something around there. And that did seem a bit pricey for something like this. What class is this? It should say somewhere, Starship class, which is one of the pricier ones. It's sort of larger. I'm guessing this is basically the same size and class as, say, the Razor Crest, or maybe the Imperial Shuttle, something around that size. Actually, the Imperial Shuttle is a bit larger, really taking all those wings. So I figure this is basically about the Razor Crest size that I can think of right now. Maybe a Republic gunship size. But anyways, yeah. So I thought, and then when this came out, I was like, okay, I think I'm definitely gonna just cancel the more expensive premium one and put this on pre-order instead for like this is a lot less. I think it was $28, something like that, somewhere around 30, or at least half the price of the Jazwares one. And the main difference is, besides this has a little bit more decoration, and I think some of the coloring on the ship is different. They have like some bits of dark, I think it has a mix of dark or lighter gray, or some tan paneling somewhere. It's a bit more mixed up. And then it does come with Captain Enoch, the premium version, and except I think that one comes with an extra night trooper, whereas this one just has the one, which is fine. I mean, yeah, I would have liked more, but I don't think I want to pay double the price just to get one more of these guys. And it's going to be just situated inside here, and the rest of it never really going to see because it's mostly for display. So yeah, I'm glad this came in early. It looks like, I'm trying to figure this out here. Let me zoom into it maybe. Let's see. This is where the guns are at. I guess you're looking at it from kind of a weird view. This is like, kind of like, this is looking at it dead on, but I wonder what this is. Does it mean put the figure in there? Oh, maybe that's what it is. There's one that goes, you can fit him, sorry, it's off camera. You can fit him right in, I think there's a clip right there. There should be, to hold two figures though. Maybe that's why they have 2 arrows. Maybe there's one here, maybe one in front. It's funny though, they didn't really, it's kind of a weird way to show it. Instead of just zooming in and actually showing where the figures sit in there. And then you can clip on, to have them standing on the inside, which you'll see. I'll open it up later. And it's funny, they basically have the same thing, but then they show Enoch in the, I guess he was right in the front. I'm not sure which one is more appropriate, but whatever. Cockpit opens. I guess a panel back here opens to reveal probably the engine. Again, the door swings open. I wonder if it actually like slides, folds back like the Republic gunship, or does it actually just fold out open? From the looks of it, it just seems like it just actually goes straight out like that. Which I don't know if that's accurate. I thought maybe it's supposed to slide back more from what I recall from watching Ahsoka. There's some of the box art on the side. There's something going on in the background. Looks like there's another one, another gunship in the back. We'll open this up and take a look at it, I guess, right now. So I usually just look for all the tape joints, and I'm just gonna cut it all open because I'm gonna end up collapsing this box and recycling it. It's not something that I usually keep, except for maybe if it's from Jazwares, like the Vault edition, that they have the nicer boxes. The only one I have from that is basically the V-Wing is it V-19 Torrent Starfighter. Other than that, I haven't had one. There we go. And I'm just gonna pull the backing out of the box. And I guess like a lot of the Jazwares stuff. Pause this movie in the background. I've got back rooms in the background, and it's a pretty good, trippy, scary movie. And here, here's one. So is that, I guess it's on a searchlight, and they're on patrol or something. And I don't really keep these because I don't have the space, and I'd rather just have my ships displayed. I don't have enough room for separate dioramas, fortunately. And we can pop this out first, and we get additional light here. And I just stabbed myself with a razor trying to cut up something, so that's what that's for. So here's a blueprint of those guys, and I will cut out the one that's on the back of the box for the ship itself. As shown in the videos, I just keep these, and then these go there, and then I'm just trying to set up a new background too. I need some space to store things, so closer look at Captain Enoch. He's got nice gold printing. From what I can tell, it looks fairly straight, not too bad. The cogs on his head are okay. They don't seem like too distorted, and like the gold print on his face looks fairly centered. Everything all around looks fairly clean. Yeah, looks good. Got to get this one. This one, not such a big deal. I don't think they did such a good job on it. He looks like, you can tell like something about that line is just a little bit off going across the head of the night trooper. You know, it's basically a stormtrooper, but the undead, I guess. Something like that. He's got some of those ribbons or whatever wrapped around. I don't know. Is that supposed to help keep them together? And very typical, you know. I think if you didn't have those red parts, I think most of the rest of it is fairly standard printing for a stormtrooper from Micro Galaxy Squadron. I mean, it's all right. I think it could still be better. Like, I feel like that line above that goes around looks a little bit heavy-handed. I think it should be thinner. It could be a slightly straighter. It feels like it's tilting down that way slightly, but it's not super obvious, especially when it gets into the ship. I feel like the front of the mask is used like the I don't know, is it the breathing apparatus? You know, like the two parts here, there's like a little front of like the mask. There should be maybe two dots that should be dotted there. And I know they can print that small. And there could be some other additional like gray like panels or something painted like right around the cheek area, if I'm not mistaken, on the stormtroopers. But anyways, it is what it is, and we'll get onto it. So hopefully everything is nice and together here. I'm gonna hang on. Just going with scissors, a lot easier. trim these ties. I think that's it. Let's see. I'm guessing popping out from the back first, possibly. Sometimes it can really wedge this in deep. Tail theme. Is there something else holding this down? Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. I'm trying to do this before the light on the side is running low. That's kind of giving the best look. And so you got, I don't think these pivot up and down. They just look like they just go left and right as far as I can tell. The front cannons, they look fairly straight. They don't look like distorted. And from the front view, for the most part, it looks fairly even, which is good. Let's see, how's the tail? It's about right. This feels like it's a little bit lower, like flatter, versus this seems like it's a little bit higher. Let's see. Sometimes maybe if my table is flat, you can kind of see if that's the case. If one side's lifted up higher, I guess it's about right. Yeah, not bad. And I don't think there's, no, these are pretty solid in there. And just take a look at the decoration. Looks pretty nice. Get a zoom up. Whoops, much. And I believe it should be, oh here, it's landing. Is that landing gear? I'm scared. Oh, here, I think. I believe this should, I just gotta be careful. I feel like it's gonna snap. This, from the picture, it looks like it should go further back. If that's the case, I think when it's landed, these fold basically in like that. And I don't think there's any additional, no, it doesn't look like it. There's no additional landing gear. This just comes down. And yeah, I think it lands something like that. It might be a little, if I push it, it should be a little flat. I just don't want to overdo it. That's about right, something like that. And then when it flies, which this will look much better when it's in flight, which I got to get a stand, but you can just take a look at the nice detailing in here. That's what I love about Jazwares. They do a lot of nice detailing. I guess there's some bit of a wash on here. Yeah, you can definitely tell. It's not necessarily the best. It looks a little bit messy, to my opinion. In my opinion, some of it looks a little blotchy. It could be cleaned up potentially, but I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, this will look better in, I think, flight mode. Tuck this back in, and with the wings down. And let's see here. I think they're both. Yeah, I think both sides. The panels looks like they open up on right here. Zoom up real closely. There's no. It's not. I don't. I can't remember if these are painted like gunmetal or something in the Jazwares Vault version. It's possible. They tend to make things a little bit nicer painted, even in the interior, but it's the same on this side. This can be, I think this could use, like a lot of them, could use a little bit of a wash or some panel lining just to bring out some of the details more. And let's see, I believe this, okay, I think you pull this out. So it does kind of, you can't pull it out sideways, I think, but look, see, there's like a sliding mechanism. It's funny the way they made it look like you just pull it wide, like all the way out this way, which I don't think you can really do. I think you're supposed to do that and then see, gently slide this back like that. And then this can go back like that. There we go. That's how it should be. And then it can go back a little bit more. You can see there's that little extra. I may not push it all the way back. That's enough clearance. And same here, I think you pull it back. here first, which is, you know, fortunately they have to do tabs to help you with getting a purchase or grip on some parts to open them up, such as cockpits. But doesn't look as nice, but it's more functional. And then you just gently slide this back, and then there. And I like how they use the clear piece there as holders, so then you don't have like this plastic wall. It looks like you can just put them there. And for instance, if I can get my fingers in there, they look like they're standing more freely standing. You know, they don't have like, you know, they have the illusion that they're freestanding versus something that's like, you know, bracing them, an actual device. You can see there's some nice detailing inside here. I don't know if you got the wings in the way. Focus on that. I don't know, but maybe from this side, you can kind of make it out. And there is some on the inside wall, but it's kind of dark. I don't think I can show it off too good, and it starts to lose focus. While I got that open, let's pull open. Let's see, I think, looks like I got some tabs here. So I imagine you pull up. I should look at the box art. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so you pull on that so you can unhinge that. These tabs right here on the side, they're pretty subtle, but you can feel them, see and feel them enough. And then you lift it up, and look at all that detailing up in here. And wow, and even in the back area, hopefully you can see that. And around the cockpit, it's really nice in there. And then some of this detailing on the side here. These, I don't know, just part of the flight computer or weapons or whatever. And you can just, there are no clips. The cockpits on these look really nice though. I don't know if you can make it out. And then I think they just slide right in. Let me see. Enoch's going to be a little tricky. His waist joint is a bit stiff. I don't know if it's painted too tight. Okay, just got to work it a little bit. And let's see. It's just a little tight, but I'll put them in the front for now. But you can just basically kind of sit them like this. Looks pretty good. And you can see them through there. A little hazy. I wonder if it's going to wash on there, but I think it'll be fine. And then up, I don't know, should Enoch be in the front? I guess so. Usually, if it's a traditional like gunship style, the pilot sits in the back at a kind of elevated level, and usually the gunner's up front, so that just you need to protect the pilot. And then if the gunner's up front, you can see better and kind of put the guns where they need to be and targeting and stuff. Whereas the pilot just need to concentrate on flying. So I'll probably pull this guy out. I don't have enough troopers to fill this up, and I'm not planning to display this with the doors open. So we're going to pull him out. And I'm going to just try, sorry, back up. Just try to get Enoch situated a little bit better. Maybe his arms out, so that it looks like he's at least got some grip on the controls. And I don't want him to sit so much that his feet aren't like so like hanging forward, like off of the pedals. But this might be the tricky part, is to sit him in here correctly. Well, his feet might need to go up a little bit. If you want him to make sure you sit all the way down like that. Sorry, I know it's kind of a distance away. I guess I can angle this. Hang on. Oops, cut off the filming. So yeah, so I have them situated like this. Zoom in. I call him the pilot. Sometimes it's good to have a decent set of tweezers to fit them in. Try to get his arms up a little higher. No, not like party style. Sorry if he gets out of frame here. Yeah, too bad. I wish the last thing they need to do is figure out a way to make some, we can ever do some knee and maybe elbow articulation to really hone in on the posabilities of these characters on the vehicles, in the vehicles or on them, like say speeders. They don't really sit quite naturally with such straight legs. That's the thing. I think it's to get them situated down low enough. Sorry, I can even see. Back up slightly. I mean, if he needs to sit down, he needs to have his arms up like that. But then he's going to be really loosey-goosey in here, I can tell you that. Because the way this is designed. Which there's a way to better secure them in the seat, and especially without their feet sticking up. But it is what it is. Sorry if you can't see because of the shadow. I'm just trying to, I don't feel like taking out my tweezers right now. But I probably should. Well, it's the best I can do, you know. You only have so much limit on the posability. The only thing is that I don't want to move them too much. I can tell they're not completely situated in there, but that's the way it's going to look like. Yeah. That's what I can do. I mean, you can't get their feet to go down any lower, which is unfortunate. No, it's going to stick up like that. But lock that in, and then close the hatch. Sooner or later, they need to make a Thrawn figure, right, for this stuff. So let me back up. You can't really see what I'm doing. Trying to see how to slide this thing forward again, without snapping anything. It's already situated all the way back. Right, so there we go. And then I guess this goes in first over here, and then that locks in like that. It's just maybe the first time trying to undo this. There we go. And then fit this in here and then lock it in the back. There we go. Pretty cool. I wonder how they're going to make a stand for this. I'm sure I got to check Kevin's custom micro stands or something like that. There we go. Pretty cool. So yeah, hopefully if you are on top of this stuff, you've already had your pre-orders and they should be coming in if they haven't already. If not, go check Amazon. I don't have any affiliation, so just do it of your own accord. I don't make anything off of these videos, or at least not anything that I don't have any links to make money off of. My channel isn't that big, but yeah, go check it out, or where else would they might have it. I'm not even sure. I just know that Amazon has had the pre-orders for a while, and yeah, I just put it in a while back. So the next one that's coming up is that I didn't expect this, but they just recently dropped. Well, the Jazwares Vault, actually from them. You can't get it anywhere else. It's their exclusive. But it's that the more premium decorated versions of certain vehicles. They brought back Sabine Wren's TIE Fighter, which is cool. I could have sworn I saw that like a long time ago when it came out, and I think in my head, if I recall, I actually saw it probably at Marshall's or Target, perhaps. I don't remember seeing it necessarily at Target. I think it was either Marshall's or Ross, not Target. From way back, and I was thinking, oh, that's cool, but I don't know if I really want or need to collect stuff. I was at a halt in collecting this stuff, and I was worried about going back through this rabbit hole of collecting again. And of course, obviously, I have done that. But if I'd known that I would, then I probably would have just said, screw it, just pick it up. It's cool. And I missed it back then, and then I was like, and I don't want to pay the crazy prices for on the secondhand market for that. And now they brought this out. It's pricier than normal, of course. It's about $30, but I think it's worth it. It's hard to get, or it was a hard to get figure. I think it's limited too. These are limited runs from Vault. So when they sell it out. And I said, all right, this is a chance to get Sabine Wren's TIE Fighter, which is pretty cool. That's the way it's painted with all the bright colors and stuff. So looking, that actually just shipped, and it should arrive actually tomorrow. Kids are coming over, so I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do an unboxing. Maybe real late at night when they're asleep. I might try to do it. Otherwise, it may take me a few more days, if not a week, until because I got some time off, and it's supposed to be with the kids, so I'll see if I can sneak in some free time to do my videos, or maybe they might join in on it, because they did on one of my other videos previously. Just made some comments in the background, but they wanted to see how I did these videos. It's like I just do them like this, nothing special, nothing fancy. And so yeah, so maybe look out for that. Sabine Wren's type of Vault edition. That should be up really soon. I'm pretty stoked, and so I'm glad this came through earlier than expected too. Other than that, the next wave of that I know of the stuff, Micro Galaxy Squadron, is probably going to be closer to October, which will have there goes my other light, which will be if I stick with the order. I have a Mandalorian, the big set with the new AT-AT that was in the movie with Grogu, Mando. I'm pretty sure it's remnant snowtroopers, the commandant or commander or whatever his name is. It comes with the INT-4, that the toy that became real in this movie, and it's kind of like an armed escape pod off of the AT-AT. It's a cool set, and it's got a couple AT-RTs, I think, too. It's a big set, but it's pretty well packed for $80. So that's coming in, and I do have another Y-wing bomber that's also in pre-order around the same time. It's just so close to the Captain Rex's. This has Ahsoka, and I think there's some minor deco changes. Other than that, it's pretty much identical, so I'm debating whether I want to keep that or not. I love the Y-wing bombers, but it's like, again, it's so close. I may not want duplicate or such similar versions of that particular model. And there's a B-wing that's in the New Republic color, so it's got some blue accents, which might be pretty cool. And then Darth Maul's the Shadow Lord from that series recently, which is really great. The Hex, which it's unfortunate that it got blown up. Oops, sorry, spoilers, but it's unfortunate that it didn't last as long as it could have. Maybe they'll bring it back like the Razor Crest. But it's a cool design, and I like it it looks well designed, and I look forward to if they reuse that same larger, like basically it's a gauntlet, Mandalorian gauntlets starfighter. If they reuse that at some point to redo the gauntlet, make it larger, which they really should do. because the current ones that they had, it's just a bit small. It's not nearly close enough in scale. Now with the new hex, that looks about right, and they just got to add the front bits because the hex is kind of like cut off version of the gauntlet. Then yeah, we'll see. Anyways, rambling on again. So thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Later.